Welcome back to the Brian Crombie Radio Hour. I wanted to end the conversation about the Middle Ages and really thank Jacqueline Murray, Professor Jacqueline Murray, for coming on and talking about the Middle Ages. It's not a topic that you'd think normally people would be interested in, but I was very interested in it, and I think you should be as well, because I do think that there's a lot we can learn from history. And I want to close by saying that I also went this week to the Albany Club, which was a little bit strange for me, and heard Conrad Black, Lord Conrad Black, speak, who I think is, one of the most interesting speakers. I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but just a fascinating speaker and a great writer. And he's just finished 3 volumes about the world history, and he had some interesting lessons that he drew from his study of world history. And it's sort of similar to Jacqueline, that it's got a lot of lessons for today. The first thing he said is that we've had this constant progress in history of increased prosperity, and that tens of millions of people a year have been taken out of poverty by what's gone on in progress, what's gone on with capitalism, what's gone on with democracy, what's gone on with trade, etc. And so he's very encouraged about the future of the world, given what's happened in the past, and that we've got to continue that arc. The second thing that he said is he took a look at numerous different cities, the Roman Empire being one of the best examples, but also others. And he said that great powers end up expanding and staying in power for a long period of time because they do a couple of things. Number one is that they lower taxes, that they increase trade so that they can take advantage of comparative advantage and give extra prosperity to people, and that they provide safety. And that those are some of the keys to long governance of countries. The other thing that he said that I found really fascinating, he just said history isn't just about dates and wars and things like this. He said history is interesting because of interesting people. And as he went through his discussion, he talked about numerous different really interesting people. And it's the personalities, the people, that make history interesting. I think that's one of the things that I love about my show, is I get to interview and get to know interesting people and try to let you get to know them as well. But I think that's fascinating. That it's probably true, but it's fascinating that history is made today. Is made the world is made interesting by interesting people, and so getting to know them, reading their stories, listening to them, and having appreciation for what motivates them and why they get up in the morning, I think is kind of fun. The last thing he said in response to a question, which is, really what's the objective of life after all of his studies of all these interesting people, of the studies of history, of his experience, etc. And he said it's pretty simple. To be honest, to work hard as you can, to do the best that you can, to try to make the world, at least your little part of the world, a better place for you, for your family, for your community, to try to make the world a better place. And then the last thing he said was to earn respect. That was what man wanted the most, is to just have the respect of his fellow person. That's kind of interesting. Honesty, work hard, try to make the world a better place, and earn respect. I liked it. Anyway, so I think that whether it's Conrad Black, or whether it's Jacqueline Murray, or whether it's your history teacher, or just those books, I think that one of the lessons of those 2 conversations for me, and many other conversations I've had, is twofold. Interesting people are interesting, so get to know them, whether it's through my radio show or books or however. And history can teach us a lot. What's that line about he that doesn't know his history is doomed to repeat it? I think that we can learn a lot from a history, both as a caution for what we need to be wary of doing in the future, but also as a beacon for where we can move forward. And I love the idea that democracy, that capitalism, that trade, that the lack of wars and violence today versus what has happened in the past, where Conrad Black talked about how, even though we get lots of publicity about what's happening in the world today with wars, and there is a lot, we're a lot safer, a lot less violent, a lot less warlike today than we have been any time in history. has led to increased prosperity and far less people in poverty. I think he made a statistic that there's something like something in the teens of people that are in poverty today. It was 11 or 12%, something like that. I can't remember the exact statistic, versus over 50% through most of history. I think that's great. Anyway, that's my show for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I remind you, I'm on every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on 960 AM. You can stream me online at www.saga960am.ca. All my podcasts and videos are on my website, briancrombie.com. Have a great weekend, everybody, and go meet some interesting people.